Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, the market has moved up today, which is a great thing. Basically, oil prices continue to fall a little bit. They did spike, and so it's looking like it's looking like we may be on a little bit of a bounce, but I don't think that the condition of the market has changed all that much. I think that we are still basically basically in this downward trend. I mean, I definitely think we're in this downward trend. We've got to be looking at it. We've got to be looking at kind of what's going on. So, without further ado, let's get into some of the stuff today. I just kind of want to show you how I'm trading this market. The small portfolio is very small because I got stopped out of one of my positions. I'm down to two positions, basically just in Berkshire Hathaway, that's BRKB, and in Zim, which is also a shipping company. Now, Zim has been doing fantastic. I'm up on this one 11% in 7 days, which so it's not impossible to trade this market. It definitely is tradable, but you just got to be in the right stocks. And I tell you, the tech stocks right now are not doing so good. So you don't want to be in those. You want to kind of be in some of these resource stocks or possibly the shipping. Let's take a look at the chart on Zim. I just want to kind of put that up there for everybody. Basically, what's going on here is, we it's just going up, up, up. I mean, I went through a full I went through a full position and then I closed it out when it pulled back and I'm back in again to Zim. So here we go. I bought one full position here and then we started to move up. Basically, I bought it as it moved above that 75.20 area and we're moving up here once again. So Joe, go figure. It's go figure. It's just one of those things. Now, the other stock that I have, and boy, I tell you, I'm really light on the stocks that I'm long, is Berkshire B. That's of course Warren Buffett's company, BRKB. There's actually two stocks in this. There's Berkshire Hathaway A, BRKA, which almost never trades at all, and then there's Berkshire B, BRKB. I have BRKB, and as you can see, I bought that back on the 3rd of March at 320.28 30. We're currently at 329.98. It's up. It pulled back a little bit. It pulled up and then it pulled back, but it does appear that it's moving above that buy point. So the last buy point on this was at 295.08. And it's moved up through that, and then reconsolidated, and now it's moving above the 332 area. So hopefully we'll be able to hold on to that for a while. I definitely would like to. I tell you, I haven't been able to hold on to much else. One of the things when you're putting your stops in, make sure, and this is a key thing, you want to make sure when you're putting your stops in to probably in this market, 5% below where you bought it. Now I know that there's a 7% rule out there, but you might want to look at doing it as tight as tight as 5%. I mean, it's a tough market again to trade, and it's just one of those. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's really it's a tough market to trade. So, I mean, you just really have to look at it that way. Um, you know, indeed on that trade. So, you know, there you go. That's sort of how it is stacking up. Also, we were in Quanta Services down a little bit on that one. PDR, we're still in that one. We didn't get stopped out of that one. Thank you. But this is just how difficult this market is to trade. It's just there's not a lot of areas in the market, and we're in a downward trend. So if you're gonna add stocks in this market, just be very very careful. This is PDR. We came, you know, we started buying it right below that pivot at 124.89, and I bought it at 120. We're up at 121 just since really. You know, we moved up and then we moved down. So hopefully we're going to get some support here, see what happens. But this one is in the oil field services area, and I do think that this one is likely to be a pretty good area for that for the market. Now, I did want to show you some where I have been doing better, and that's on these option trades. We have of course, a bear put spread on Lululemon. We're up pretty well on this one. This one has been doing very well. Let's look at an Lulu on the chart on Lulu here. Put that up, and let's see. Get that up. There we go. There we go. That's Lululemon. And as you can see, Lululemon has it was up today. It was sort of a dead cat bounce. The trend on Lulu is still down, so I think that, you know, we're likely to see this one move a little bit lower, but today it moved up. We're still in pretty good shape when it comes to this trade. This is a bear put trade that has a potential of $542. We're currently at a fair value on this one at 381. What I mean by that is if we were to trade it, if we were to close it today, we would be up. We would be up on this trade, basically at about 381 from where we started on this. And we have a potential of 542. So hopefully that'll go and work. Also, we're up on the Square trade. This is for Square, of course, is block, as you probably are aware. SQ is still the symbol though, and that one did also move up a little bit today. It was a little bit of a dead cat bounce on that. Um, it did move up to about 103, and it's up in after hours. But I still believe the trend of this one is down. Hopefully, I'm right. It's got a relative strength of 10, and we did enter that bear put spread basically at our break even on this one is 105, so we're below that, and it's starting to trend well. Currently, right now on this bear put spread, the fair value of that trade is about 135. So looking pretty good there as well. Also wanted to show you the other trade that we do have, and that is the Twilio trade, TWLO. I think that's the symbol. TWLO is the symbol on that one. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's a little bit. This one also is moving up, but just a tad, 0.67, not a whole lot. Did move up about $3 today, but we're still at 129. We're still in a pretty good shape on this one. At about 302, we did lose a little bit of ground there, but it has a potential, this one, of about $602. Now, we did open a Iron Condor spread today, and hopefully you saw that video. I just put it on TikTok right before we came on the air, but that's an interesting one. And by the way, you can definitely get in on that one. It's not hard to do. Just go to www Dallas Trading Floor, or if you're watching on TikTok, super easy to do. Just go up here to the charts. I mean, just go up to the beacons on my profile. Click on that, and you'll be able to just click right on a link directly to that. And it also works if you go to www Dallas Trading Floor, or if you go to my profile on TikTok. So that's a good way to go too. We're down a little bit on that one. It did after we entered it. This is an Iron Condor, so this is interesting in that it's a little bit different than the other trade. So let me kind of show you kind of how that one works. Basically, the way the Iron Condor works here is that it's both a bear call spread. I mean a bear put spread and a bear call spread. So kind of let's take a look at it. The question is, what is an Iron Condor? And basically, what it is it protects you within a range between basically 450 and 500. Right now, we're a little bit underwater. With the expected value of this trade, when we entered it, it did move a little bit out of the zone. We're down about $25 on this one, with the current price being 495. So let me pull up the chart for UNH. It's UNH. Of course, this is one of the biggest healthcare companies, obviously, in the world in terms of the health insurance area, and it is moving up a little bit now. We may have to do an adjustment on this, but we just entered it, so let's take a look here. After hours, when the slide was made, it was at 495. It's moved up about $2. It is rallying a little bit. It is rallying a little bit, but unlike um, unlike the trades on the bear trades, this one has a zone, so it can move up a little bit and it can move down, and we will still make money on this one. So basically, the break even on this one on the upside is we want to make sure that it closes lower than 513.69, or and on the downside, we want to make sure it stays above 426.33. And the way this is constructed, very interesting trade, of course, is by first creating the bear put spread, and that we did that by buying the 420 put, this April 14th 420 put, and then simultaneously selling the 430 put. And then on the bottom half, we created a call spread, and that was created by selling the 510 April 14th and buying the 520. So out of our pocket, we paid nothing for this. We got a credit of $368. Now there is a maximum risk, of course, on this if it does move above 520 at $632, but we will adjust it before then. The probability to profit on this one, based on the volatility calculation, approximately 63.9%. We'll see what happens. But anyways, that gives you kind of a a look see at all of that. So without further ado, let's get into some of the questions. Thanks for holding, everybody. So appreciate it. So let's see for Jay. Jay's always first. Gosh, your analysis of ATVI, lots of movement in the last 10 minutes. Well, let's see. Oh, by the way, I need to put up, and I have to do this really quickly to get so the people will see this. I forgot to indicate on there that we're going to be live on the air. So I don't know if I put that on there. Let me just do this for the people on our Discord room. By the way, if you don't know about our Discord room, very easy to find out. It's on it's you can get on it by going to www Dallas Trading Floor and taking a look at the taking a look at by going to www Dallas Trading Floor. And so let's kind of just go ahead and see if we can share this one out. There we go. All right. Just need to get that over to the people on the Discord room so that they can see basically that I am live now. So there we go. So we'll just get that right up for them in just a second, and I'll get right to your question, Jay. Let me just log in to the Discord room, by the way, and I'll kind of give you everybody a look see. I could probably give a look see of that Discord room. We're just it's taking a second to start up here. Let's do that. Okay. Well, okay, there we go. So a little bit of there we go. Okay, so basically what we do is we have this Discord room, and I'll kind of show you what that is. See, I'm live, and just wanted to show everybody this that's on that Discord room right now as we speak. So if let's kind of show you sort of everybody out there, sort of how that looks. And this is basically our Discord room. Just kind of wanted to show you that for everybody. A lot of interesting stuff. We have a lot of, basically we start at about show you some of the things that we did in the Discord room today. Quite a bit of stuff actually. Just kind of showing you the comments here and where I was stopped out. But we do this all the time. This is a paid service, but a lot of traders really like this, and it's easy to find out about it. Just go to www Dallas Trading Floor. So that kind of gives you a look see of that for everybody out there that wants to take a look at that. All right, well, let's get back to Jay's question. And this is okay. Let's get that up. There we go. And it's ATVI. I don't know why there was so much action on that one, but that appears the case. So let's see. Yeah, Activision Blizzard. That is really interesting. It ended the day at 79. It moved above that 200-day moving average, but it's having trouble holding that. That's really interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to maybe the 5-minute chart and take a look to see kind of how it ended the day. Well, there's a lot of volume on it. Somebody's buying it. I think this is a short squeeze. I mean, not a short squeeze, but a cover here. Somebody is covering on this one. That's what it looks like to me. Definitely interesting. But we did move up, and then boom, right at the close, there was a volume spike on Activision Blizzard. So hard to say. I think this is a short covering. That would be my guess. It's not. It wouldn't necessarily be that. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. All right. Oh, we no longer see the small portfolio in Google Drive. Oh, thanks, Marcin. I may have to I'm gonna be doing some work on that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm gonna be doing some work on that, and we're gonna reshare it out. But I've got to do some updates on that small portfolio, and currently, just so you can see it. Um, Currently, this is the way the small portfolio looks currently. Um, as you can see, it's pretty much all cash, three quarters cash. Man, I can't believe that. Three quarters cash. The only thing I'm really making money on it right now is Zim. I also have a position in Berkshire, but thank you for that. We're going to be putting that up on the small portfolio. We're going to be doing that. I've got to do a little bit of maintenance on that. I should have told everybody about that. Anyways, let's look at AMD in the meantime, and let's take a look. AMD has been tough to trade too because there's just been a movement away from so many of these techs, and it's a tough one to trade. Let's go to AMD, and this is one of my favorite stocks. Now, one of the difficulties though with AMD is that unlike Intel or Micron in this space, they do not produce their own chips. They rely on TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, to produce their chips. Now, they used to produce their own chips, believe it or not, but they gave that up because it's an incredibly expensive it's an incredibly expensive thing to do to make your own chips. It really is expensive. That's why TSMC is doing the business it's doing. I also want to take a look at Global Foundries. That's sort of the alternative to that. There was a recent IPO. Actually, interestingly enough, the foundation of that was the old AMD Foundries that kind of split off, and then they've reconstituted as sort of a foundry like TSM. Here's the problem, unfortunately, with AMD. We have this slippage below the 200-day line. We have the 50-day line moving down. That is not a good sign. Today, though, we did see a nice reversal on the relative strength line. The relative strength line popped up, as you can see. That's this little line here, and we did come up. But I don't think this is going to hold. I definitely think I see this trend is going down, And unfortunately, I do see this one. I do see the trend on this is downward, but I see it having trouble holding the 21-day line. That's the line right here. So basically, looking at the technicals here, and that's kind of when looking at the technicals. We are below. The only thing we're above right now is the 10-day line. We're below the 21-day, 50, and 200. That means that in the short term, there was a short-term bounce on. There was a short-term bounce on AMD, but unfortunately, that is not holding. It's not holding. So if you're down more than 7% on AMD, I would really, really consider possibly closing the trade because I think the momentum is against us right now. Now I'm not willing to do a bear trade on this yet because I just don't think that we're there yet. But it's too good a stock to do a bear trade on. It's too unpredictable. Is what I'm trying to say. But it's still, it's still. I just want to just reiterate that thing. If you're down more than 7% on the, just close the trade. Wait to see if we get a reversal. This is not a reversal right now. This is not a reversal. It's come up all the way up to the 10-day line, but it's still above. It's probably going to go lower. I mean, that's the trend right now. It has not changed direction. Let me just put a trend line in there so I can show you that case. So if we put the trend line in here, and really we have to, I think we really have to look at this as the trend line. Yeah, that would be aggressive. I think this is really the trend line here. And if we do that, we're going to, and we were to set an alert on that trend line, we are still very far below that trend line. So it's not really viable right now, unfortunately. It's still moving lower. We've got to have it move above this line here. So right now, Marcin, I just think that you just gotta hang on and and I just think you gotta hang on and and do it. Just keep on keeping on. So with AMD, I think it's gonna move lower. Oh, no sound. Just let me make sure that I have sound. Just have to make sure that's the case. Did I? Yeah, I should have sound. Okay, I have sound now going out. Sorry about that. We're kind of in a. All right, I think we're good now. Sound is good. Excellent. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm getting better at this. I'm still kind of a one-man band. Are you worried about Lulu earnings? They have really good estimates for the quarter. I may close the Lulu. The Lulu trade. That's a good point that you bring up. LU. Let's look at that again. Um, and see. We are. Oh, let's take a look at those earnings to see. We've got earnings in 14 days. Probably, I suspect I will probably close this in 14 days before the earnings. But right now, I think we're in a downward trend on this, and I'm going to probably hold it open at least for 14 days. Now, if we were to go back to the chart on that, let me kind of see if I can pull up that Lulu, kind of get the slide for the Lulu chart. There we go. So this is the chart for the Lulu trade. We have about 14 days until we get to earnings on this one. So we're currently at about March 15th. So we could probably run until probably the end of the month. I'm probably going to close it before. I think it's a very good point that you make. I'm probably going to close it before the earnings, and I'll try to alert everybody on that. But earnings are basically on this one on the 29th of March, which is in about well, in exactly 14 days. Now, I do believe that they will report after the bell, so I probably will close early. But this trade right now is looking very, very good. We are up a little bit today. When the slide was taken, it was at 280. It's popped up a little bit after hours to 290. So the chart of the expected value of the trade of the spread is a little bit off, as you can see. I have it. at 280. It did move up today, but the trend right now is downward. So we'll just see how it trades going into that. But I do kind of expect it to trade down at least for a while. All right, let's talk about something from TikTok. We have a question on from TikTok from TerraView. Thank you for TerraView for taking a look at the show. SOFI, SoFi. I don't think this is one that's doing all that well, but let's check in. SOFI and see kind of where we're at on Sofi Technologies. Boy, I tell you, this one is not looking good. Just it's just not looking too good. SoFi does not look like it is. Yeah, I just don't think this one is looking very good. It's just not something you would like to see. Trading well below the obviously well below the 200-day line, below the 50, below the 10. So this just isn't looking good at all. There's just the death cross here. This is whenever you see this, this is where you kind of start needing to put it on your watch list. And as you can see, it was struggling and then it struggled more, and then you see now it's moving down, down, down. This might, this probably is not a good candidate for a short because it's so far gone. It's at $8.20. I mean, let's take a look at this. I think this is lost. Yeah, you see, this was all the way up here, almost at 30. This is at $8. So this has lost 75% of its value. Not a good look on that at all. So if you're down more than this, more than if you're down more than 7% on this, you just really need to consider closing out this trade. Not a good trade, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. The trend on this one is down. And by the way, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that this one's going to go to zero, but it is amazing that stocks sometimes do go to zero. So it's not out of the question that indeed that could happen. Let's take another question. Thank you so much, everybody. Samuel's asking about gold, GLD. Now, of course, this is the ETF that tracks the price of gold. And gold has been going up with all of unfortunate war stuff, but today it has sort of readjusted with the price of gold, and it did fall today to 179.02. It actually jumped up a little bit, and then it was going through this buy zone, and then boom, it has come down. Now, gold is a tough commodity. It's flirting with the very critical $2,000 an ounce level. This is a ETF that tracks the price of gold. So you can see it's fairly flat, but it's starting to pull back. So I don't know if I would be in this one. It's just I don't think this is necessarily your best play. I think your best plays are still in some of the in if you want to go where I think inflation is going. I think where you got to really go is oil, and there is a fairly easy way to do that. That's the XLE. Um, that's the XLE, and that is a sector fund. Now it did pull back a little bit today at 71.79, but I do think if we look at this one, this I suspect is going to go higher. Now it did open today lower, but now that it's lower, I think it may stabilize and go up. As you can see, the last 3 days it's opened down and down, but I do think we're going to see a stabilization in the price of oil, and I do think that is, if you have to be invested in the market, that might be a kind of a good safe haven. I'm finding that it's really hard on the stock selection. One of the areas that I have been successful, of course, is on the shipping stocks, and this is Zim today, and this one did do very, very well. This has been moving up kind of steadily. The buy point on this the last buy point on this one, really about 75.20. That would be a pretty good entry there. I don't know if I'm going to enter. I don't know if I'm going to buy. I wouldn't buy it at this level, but I would add at this level. So I may be adding to my. I may be adding to my position in Zim. Let's look at Upstart. Thank you for that. UPST. This one has been having trouble, like many of the enterprise software plays, it's just a tough market to trade. It did move up a little bit today, but and after hours trading, it moved down. So just a not a fun one. It's trading these right now is tough. So you got to be very, very careful about your entries. Right now, this is not one you want to be entering. This is got the death cross, of course. That happened back here basically in January. So this thing has been basically moving lower since then. Um, I did put a reversal line here. It does show that it moved above the reversal line, but now it's starting to pull back once again. The relative strength at 31 is the shortable. Well, it might be. Let's take a look. Let's kind of look in on it to see if we could possibly construct a bear trade on this one. I want to show you a trade that I didn't get a fill on today, but this one is shortable, and that's Koopa, C-U-P-A. I want to show you that one really quick. I know that I'm off the subject of Upstart, but I want to show you this one. I do have a bear trade on this one. I did not get a fill on it, so I can't. I don't think I can show you the slide tonight. But this one, I think you want to take a look at as a potential short. Now, it did pop up a little bit after hours. This is a good place to short it, this is one that I'm going to be coming out with. This is what I'm going to be I'm going to be coming out with a short on. Let me see if I can pull up that slide. I do have a slide on that Koopa. I don't know if I completed everything on it. I was putting it to. I don't think I did. Let me just see if I've got it out there. Let me check. Right. Koopa Software. And this one, oh, nope, nothing on it yet. So I don't have anyone. I didn't get a fill on this one, unfortunately, but this one is on the bubble right now, and it tremendously it had it went through earnings, and it was awful for it. But I do think this is a wounded. I do think this is highly wounded. You see, it did fall all the way down here to 65, and then it rallied up to here. But I think this is the trend of Koopa is downward, and there was some buying in here. Just I think this is covering, to be honest with you. I'm going to be putting together probably a bear put spread on this one, expecting a price of 65 or so, 60 to 65 in about 30 days on this one. So we will have that. So stay tuned on that. Of course, if you're on the Action Trade Alerts, that's a great way to find out about that. All right. Okay, let's take another upstart and let's do Tesla. Okay, I did close my Tesla bear put spread today. Let me show you that how I did on that one. Okay, this is let's go over to first of all let's go over to Tesla. TSLA, of course, is the symbol on Tesla, and Tesla has been, a tough one. It did trade up today to 801. I basically closed the trade yesterday. This morning I got a fill on it. We did have a profit on this one, which is nice. I closed it on the 14th. Basically, I was able to get a fill, and the way this one worked, of course, is this was a bear call spread, and as you can see by little accounting, we did make on this one pretty good, $478.70, basically for nothing out of our pocket. Wasn't that great? No, we didn't. We didn't. We were fortunate in that we didn't put anything out of our pocket, and the potential on this one was about the potential of this one is about 602, but we did do well on this one. Now, is this going to be shortable from here on out? Not sure. I'm going to definitely take a look at it, but we're still in a downward trend. I do see, though, on Tesla, I do see that we are going to be we do have some support right here, basically at about 700. I want to kind of show you that. That's where the support is. We're still in a downward trend. So unfortunately, if you're holding it Tesla long, you might want to close your trade right now and wait for a bounce. I do think we're going to get some. I do think we're going to get a bounce. Um, This is a question or um, uh, UNH doesn't look bullish. Well, it did pull up today. We'll see. But I think that you're going to see, um, and I could be eating some serious crow here, but I do think with UNH, and this is we're moving from Tesla to UNH. I do think that we have this resistance. And this is why I want to show you this. There's some resistance on UNH at 500 on a double on a double bottom. Now, normally in a normal market, I probably wouldn't do a Iron Condor here, but in this case, I think that we may see some resistance. As you can see, it came all the way up to 500 before. This was back beginning of March, and then it rejected it. And I think that's what's probably going to happen again. We'll see. But that's the reason for the Iron Condor that we put out today. So we'll see. We may have to adjust it, but right now I do see some resistance at 500. So that's the reason for that Iron Condor. All right, let's take the next question. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate it. Hey Jim, will G and K trade lower before it recovers? Well, that's a good question. Probably. This is a down market, and a lot of stuff, unfortunately, is probably even great stocks. That's why we have a down. We have a down market, and even great stocks are going to trade lower. I mean, that's the reason, and that's really the only reason why I'm doing all of this. These bear trades, but it does look like, yeah, it does look like it's fallen below the 21-day line. It came up. What had happened is Genco Shipping and Trading, and this is in a good area, by the way. Transportation ship. I like this area. What happened is it came right up to the pivot, and then boom, it was rejected. So I do think we're going to get a bounce. I think we're probably going to get a bounce here at the 21-day line. That's my guess. And let's kind of take a look to see if that is indeed the case. Yeah, I think we're probably, yeah. We looks like we got some support right at about 19. So I do think we're going to get some support right at about the we're going to get some support right at about the 21-day line. Let's see exactly where that 21-day line is. I'm going to pull that up here in a second. Hopefully I can. It lets me. Yeah, kind of slow today on the. Hopefully we're going to have better internet connection here shortly. But I do think that it looks like it has gained support at the 21-day line, which is about 19. So I think that will work. Hopefully that will work. Let's go over the weekly here. Let's see if it lets us do it. And it's really slow. Oh, there we go. Okay. It did look. No, let's go to the daily chart. Let's see if we got. Support. Yeah, we did. We got support at the 21-day line. We're a little bit below there, about 2.5% below that, but it did move. It does look like it's getting some support there. So I don't expect it to move all the way down to the 50-day line. We're still pretty good. We're still about 8% above that. So I do think we're going to get some support there, and I do think it probably will move higher. That's my guess, anyways. We'll see how that works out. All right, we got about 5 minutes left. Any word on Facebook? Of course, that's called Meta these days. FB. I've been looking at Facebook for a potential short for a while, just because of its action. I did have, it did have a huge drop off. Let's see if we can go to the daily chart here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so basically, this is Facebook Meta. This is where I did short it before. Entered the Iron Condor. Well, no, I'm sorry. I didn't have a short here. I had an Iron Condor. I did close that Iron Condor, but it does look like it's moving progressively lower. The question is, can it be shorted? Well, it did have this movement down. It had this on earnings. This is one of the reasons why you got to be really careful around earnings. But it dropped an incredible amount, about 25% on the last earnings. So an amazing amount it dropped on the last earnings. The question is it going lower? Well, it does look like that's the trend. I mean, it does look like that's the trend. The question is, how low can Facebook go? Well, It can go very low. It can go very low. Let's go to the monthly chart to kind of see how it's looking. Um, it does look like there's some support at about 140, 135, and it could definitely go there. It could definitely move down another 50 points very, very easily. So I am not bullish. As you can see, there's some big spikes. We're looking at the monthly chart here. So there was monthly selling the last 1, 2, 3 months. There was monthly selling on Facebook. So it doesn't look good. It does look like there's going to be some more pain on Facebook. So I wouldn't be a buyer long. Possibly look at going short on that, but I'm not even convinced of that. Thank you, Jonas. What is your opinion on MULN? Let's look at MULN and see if we can come Mullen Automotive. Interesting. This is a penny stock, unfortunately, and I just don't think this is looking good. It has turned up a little bit. It's above the 21-day line, but it's got a relative strength of 1. Oh, man, I'm telling you, I just think it's time to avoid it. Oh, avoid this one. I think you just gotta do that because, man, this does not look good to me. This is not the kind of chart. By the way, in chart reading, super simple. When you're starting in chart reading, here's what you do. The first thing you look at is you look at what's the overall direction of this chart. Well, if you were looking at this chart for the first time, you would say, well, the plane is flying from Seattle to Miami. Boy, that's not where we want to go. We want to go from Los Angeles to New York. We want to be like that. So this is strike one. Right now, this is not looking good. I just think you got to avoid this stock. So that's the first thing when you're doing chart reading. Don't think you're going to break the momentum. Remember, the momentum is your friend. The trend is your friend. So if the stock, I try always to buy stocks in an upward trend. Uh, so don't buy a stock that has an overall downward trend. The way you find that trend is you go to that weekly chart. Don't look at the daily or the monthly, but you look at that weekly chart and you see which way is it going. Well, this one's going down. So I would say you would have to avoid that stock pretty much at all costs. At all costs. So there you go. Is Let's see. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Oh, we have one Carvana, CARV. Let's look at Carvana. Um, and Carvana. No, I'm sorry, Carver Bancorp. No, this is in a downward trend too, so I think we gotta be somewhat careful here as well. So this doesn't look good as either. So I would avoid. Uh, I think you got to avoid it. I just think you got to avoid this one. All right. Well, thank you very, very much, everybody, for taking a look. Check out Coop. We did. By the way, we and I'll end on this one. Koopa Software, and thank you for bringing this up, is shortable. And I did have a short on it, but I didn't get it, unfortunately, a fill today. This one is this is how we can definitely make some money on stock, and this was Koopa Software. Now, it does have earnings, and what happened was it does have earnings on June 7th, so we have plenty of time to to short this one. The situation with Coupa Software has been awful. Even though their sales were up 18% and their profits were up 12%, unfortunately, this one is still not working. This has a very relatively high PE ratio. Matter of fact, extremely high PE ratio of 108. And the reason part of the reason this one is shortable is right now in the market. Um, the market does not like high PE stocks, and in a 108, this is a very high PE stock. So I'm looking possibly to do a bear put spread on this one, and hopefully I'll get to you. I'll get it out there to everyone. Um, what you got to do though, in order to get that, is join our Dallas Trading Floor. Now this is free. Just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com. Just first and last name and an email address where we can send this to you. Also, if you're looking on TikTok, super easy. Just go to the profile, click on the link and first and last name and email address, and we'll get you on that action trailer. We're probably going to do a bear trade on Koopa Software, basically, because it's sort of a wounded animal, and I think we need to, we need to move in for the kill on this one. So I am going to be doing that probably tomorrow if I get a fill. I thought I was going to get a fill today on that one. Not so much. I didn't get a fill on it, and it didn't happen for me. So it's you can't always you can't always you can't always get what you want, right? That's what the Rolling Stone said. So here you see two of me. So that's There we go. I will I will see you. Sorry about that no audio there. I'm learning how to do all this stuff. I haven't quite figured it out, and that's very obvious looking at this situation. That's very, very obvious, what I'm doing here. Just check that audio, make sure that's still working. Yeah, it is still working. Okay, great. All right. Sorry about that. Real little technical problems there. But anyways, if you're not a member of the Dallas Trading Floor, super easy to do. I'm going to kind of repeat this again because you didn't catch it. Just go to Dallas Trading Floor. I'll be back tomorrow at about 5 o'clock. Thank you, everybody, and please like this. Please like this. This helps me out, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, and happy trading. Stay safe. And right now, it's just a tough time to be in the market. If you're down more than 7%, consider closing the trade and waiting for a better opportunity. And I could show you some better opportunities, and I could show you how we are making money as many of these stocks are going down. So I'll see you back here tomorrow at 5.